Whew. Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. Let's do a what I eat in a day video, but let's do it totally different than I have ever done it before. Are we sideways? Are we wonky? Is this camera sitting sideways? Askew, if you will. As per usual, I have had black coffee thus far. I'm gonna attempt to show you this right there. There's the black coffee. I'm working on my second cup for today. So what am I gonna be doing today? You might be asking yourself, well, I'm going to do a keto chow only day and see where that takes me. I've never done a full day of keto chow. I've never done a keto chow challenge or a week, and I know loads of people have done that. And one of the beautiful things about keto chow is it is a nutritionally complete meal replacement. A lot of proteins out there, or protein powders or shakes or things of that nature, they have all the protein and they have a lot of flavor, but they lack those nutrients that your body requires as vitamins and minerals that help your body function the way it needs to function. So that is one of the cool things about keto chow. Another cool thing about keto chow is the broad selection of flavors. But I've never done the full-blown 1 full day of eating or 7 full days of eating the keto chow. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, we are a homeschooling family. We prepare, I would say, 90 to 95% of our meals right here in this kitchen. And one of the things we like to demonstrate for our children is here is what eating for enjoyment and nutrition looks like. So we like to create a lot of healthy meals for ourselves and our children. Best way to get children to eat healthy meals is to allow them to help you prepare them and demonstrate that you are eating them as well. So majority of the time, I don't like to do something completely off base from what they are doing for food so that I can demonstrate those values. So a spin-off reason from that particular stance is that we like to eat dinner as a family, and it's one of those relational building type activities. Yes, you're nourishing your body, but it's also a relational thing. It's a fellowship type thing here in our house. So it makes it easier and more consistent if we're all eating together for dinner and everybody is eating roughly the same food. Another reason is my husband practices intermittent fasting, and he opens up his fasting window usually like mid-afternoon and closes it mid-evening to, probably like an hour or so before we go to bed. And he appreciates having a large dinner, home cooked, lots of meat, lots of veggies, and just fully embracing that main meal that he has every single day. We like to eat together as a family, and all of those parts together mean that it's not very often that I can take a moment and do this kind of a challenge without sort of like backtracking on some of those things that we like to do as a family. Why are we doing this today then, you ask? Well, first of all, my husband travels for work fairly often. Some days are full travel days. Some days are full overnight trips. Other times it's just an out and back type situation. Today, he's not going to be home for any of the meals that we have. So I have a little bit of flexibility there. The other piece of the puzzle is that my girls have their evening activities. It is fall, and that means that all of the activities are back in full force, and we are going to be running around like mad women this evening in order to accomplish all of those activities. That means picnic dinner for the girls, and that means it's the perfect opportunity for me to do this. So we're going to do it this way. For today, we're going to see how it goes. I actually would be super jazzed to do a full week and see what it takes to do a full week of keto chow. But we're going to just start with one day. Just one day. Just a few parameters. First of all, 1 serving of keto chow has 1/3 of your daily vitamins and minerals. Therefore, I will be having at least 3 servings of keto chow. I might have more if I really feel like, I need more. So that's the first parameter. Number 2, I will be using butter as my fat source in all of my keto chows today. So that's a thumbs up. I love a good butter in the keto chow. It really enhances the flavor profiles. It's so good. And number 3, keto chow itself has, I want to say, like 26 grams of protein per serving, and that's good. However, I do like to hit like over 100 grams per day when I am mindful of it. I think what I'm gonna do is add in a scoop of whey protein isolate from Isopure with every single keto chow that I do, because true story, I think I need to be hitting closer to 150 grams of protein every day. I am approaching middle age fast, and I would like to make sure that I am building up my body rather than just holding steady. So there's that. I don't think there's anything else that I have for parameters that I can think of right now, so let's go inside and make the first keto chow of the day. So the hardest thing about today is going to be trying to decide which flavor of keto chow I want to consume. Now, if I'm only having 3, possibly 4 keto chows today, I want to make them good. I mean, and it's really difficult because every flavor that I've tried has been good. Now, there are some that are absolute favorites. Chocolate core with stevia and blueberry pie, they're at the very tippy top for me. And it's just one of those things where it's like, do I only choose my favorites because I know that that's all I'm going to be consuming today? Or do I branch out and give some love to these other flavors? And it's hard with keto chow because they have so many amazing flavors, and they just made it even more difficult on us because they just released a new flavor, butterscotch.
Butterscotch? Butter gin? Got something going on inside of it? 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
So I think this might be a limited run until they see whether or not people really love it. It's going to be caramel, it's going to be buttery, it's going to be comforting, warm deliciousness. As a child, I loved Werther's Originals, so this flavor is pure nostalgia for me. I also loved those handy packs with the butterscotch pudding. Oh, loved those. And while I do want to have this as a pudding, I want to make this into some kind of a pudding cupcake cakey kind of a thing. I think today we're going to stick with making this as a regular keto chow shake, and let's try it cold first, and then let's do the steamer version. Let's go over the specs on the butterscotch packet. So it has less than 1 gram of total fat. That means there is a touch of fat in this. I like using keto chow as an additive to like the egg protein breads and that sort of thing, but I would add this after I already whipped up my egg whites so that it would whip up properly. So you want to be mindful of that if you use these the way that I like to. Also, it has a total of 3 grams of carbs. That's fantastic. 2 grams of fiber, 0.6 grams of xanthan gum. And one of the beautiful things about keto chow is back here on the back, they actually give you the exact numbers on their carbs. It's not actually 3 carbs total, it is actually 3.48 grams of total carbs. The transparency that they use in their packaging so that you as a consumer have complete understanding or complete access to the information, I just love that about keto chow. So that was the carbs, and our protein is 26 grams. And looking through this, I'm not seeing anything with any kind of coloring in it, and that's exciting. Okay, so let's go whip this up. One of my favorite ways to make a keto chow is in a glass container. I've got butter here. It is frozen, which is not great, but we're gonna give this a little bit of time to melt the butter. I've got 1 cup of hot water here. Let's see if I can get this butter to cut. I'm gonna maybe try to cut it into a few chunks so that it will melt a little more readily. So I'm doing 4 total tablespoons of butter. Okay, we're gonna save this for the next one. And then I've got my hot water here. I'm gonna give this probably about a minute or 2 and see how quickly this melts. All right, butter is mostly melted down in here. I'm ready to add my butterscotch. Get all the powder down to the bottom. Cautiously pour into the container. Collect all of the powder out. Set that aside. Now, I am gonna go ahead and add in 1 scoop of the whey protein isolate from Isopure, unflavored. This has 25 grams of protein for 1 serving, and that will help me hit my protein goals today. I'm not gonna use a scale this time. We're just gonna go with a packed scoop. And then I've got some cool water here that I'm gonna pour over top so that my immersion blender, love this thing, does not get caught up in all the powder. Very nice. Okay, something else that I like to do is take crushed ice. You know, you need a certain amount of liquid. This jar is a 28-ounce jar. I like to add crushed ice, and if I can do this carefully, in order to help cool it down faster. Smelling this, it smells real good. That's beautiful right there. Okay, I kind of want to lick this right now so that I can taste it because I also don't want to waste it. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Set that down on the deal. Okay, I have these little lids that are similar to the actual shaker bottle style lids. I like those very much. I have one of the little ball whisk dealy bops, so we're gonna pop that in. Attach the lid, and then I like to fill it all the way up because I want maximum volume, and because I added that extra protein powder in there, I can get away with that. So I'm gonna give this a shake. Ooh, it's already nice and cold. I do love this trick with the crushed ice. It helps to chill it faster, and I find that my butter, for some reason, will sort of like re-solidify in little globules, even using the immersion blender. I'm sure that's not everybody's experience, but that is my personal experience. So using the crushed ice seems to sort of alleviate some of that. It helps to chill it faster while I'm actively blending it. So I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for maybe about 15 minutes or so. I mean, like it's already ice cold on the outside, but let's give it a chance to really kind of settle in and do its thing and then taste test it. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. I'm so excited to taste this. Childhood life coming back at me. Okay. That's delicious. It's a little bit faint on the, nope, there it is. I found it. It took a minute to hit. Buttery, caramely deliciousness. The more that I taste it, the more the butterscotch flavor just sort of like punches you in the mouth. That's fantastic. And you know what's interesting is that salted caramel is really good, right? It's definitely caramely and salty. This one is definitely way more buttery. Now, obviously, I used butter as my fat, so that's going to be providing a bit of butteriness as well. However, I've done salted caramel with the butter, so I can say that this actually has like a more buttery experience than the salted caramel, even using butter on salted caramel. This is delicious. If you're consuming foods that are delicious, but calling it a challenge, is it really a challenge? Thoughts? Okay, cold, this is delicious. But one of my favorite things to do with keto chow, especially the non-fruity flavors, is I like to turn them into what I personally call steamers. Now, a true steamer is going to be just like steamed milk with flavoring in it that you get, you know, using a steamer arm from an espresso machine or something to that effect. I do not have that equipment, but what I do have is one of these little instant frother dudes from the Instant brand. And I can do hot, I can do cold, I can do super foamy, I can do a little bit of foaminess, I can just heat on this particular device. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to get this plugged in, if I can manage it, and I am going to load her up. There is a max line right there. And I'm going to choose, yeah, let's just choose that one and start. As you can see, it is already starting to whisk that up, and it will heat as it whizzes that around using that little tiny whisk in the bottom of it. A bit of fresh context if you are unfamiliar. I really love hot drinks. Coffee, tea, steamers, hot chocolates, all of those things. I love my beverages to be warm to hot. I tend to not use a ton of ice in my drinks and that sort of thing. If I am using it, it's kind of an off kind of a thing. Okay, it's all steamed up and it looks kind of floofy. That's exciting. Let's get it poured out. All right, cold, hot. It smells delightful. It has a tiny bit of steam still coming off of it. Let's taste. That is fantastic. The frother really kind of like floofed it up nicely. Usually whey protein will floof really nicely when you beat it or whip it. So that makes for a very enjoyable experience. The flavor is more buttery than caramely with it hot. And I feel like the butter and caramel flavors are more balanced and equal when it's cold. Either way, it's delightful. And I'm gonna go finish drinking both of these for my breakfast. I enjoy that very much. It has been 4 hours since I consumed the delightful butterscotch keto chow. And I'm getting hungry. Like, I'm not getting hungry, I'm like hungry. So I'm wondering, do I put more than 4 tablespoons of butter in my keto chows? Or do I need to turn them into like a thicker shake so that way it takes longer for me to consume it, so that way my stomach feels an expansion? Now, granted, I was extremely full after drinking the entirety of the butterscotch keto chow. So maybe that's not actually my problem. I don't know. But a pinch point for me right now is the fact that my front porch shows it is 81 degrees. Ugh, gross. It is fall. And while fall and spring are my 2 least favorite seasons, moving from extreme hot to nice and cold is definitely fantastic. I would love it to be like, I don't know, 40 degrees on my front porch. That would be nice. It is not, but I would like to fully embrace the seasonal flavors of keto chow. So I'm gonna go shuffle through what I got, kind of like a little Rolodex situation. Wouldn't that be fun, having a Rolodex of keto chow? I'm gonna go pick a flavor, make it, and let you know what it is. The thing I love about the method that I'm currently using with using crushed ice in my blending process means that I get to drink this almost instantaneously. Now, I do fully recognize that allowing this to set in the fridge for like half an hour, the way the instructions suggest, allows the keto chow to thicken up a little bit. It allows the acacia gums to fully, do their thing. But I'm an impatient person, so here we go. This is eggnog, and my husband surprised me by buying a big bag of eggnog last month when they released it. Oh, eggnog is amazing. If you have not tried eggnog, please do so. It is fantastic. I do have a keto-friendly eggnog here on my channel, but that is more of a decadent treat. It has no vitamins, minerals, nutrients that your body actually needs, and it has piles of cream, loads of cream, buckets of cream, and it's so stinking good. But it's one of those decadent treat type of things. This is a full-blown meal replacement. So I'm excited about that. I did it exactly the same way as I did the butterscotch. So the the 4 ounces, there we go. I had the number 4 in my brain. 4 ounces, bless. People, I'm struggles today. 4 tablespoons, there we go. That's 2 ounces or 1/4 cup of butter, melted with the hot water trick. So that way it was easy to mix in. 1 scoop of the Isopure whey protein and 1 serving of the keto chow in eggnog. Again, with the immersion blender, it's just so easy, so fantastic. I feel like this needs a little touch of nutmeg and it's perfection. If you want to snag the brand new butterscotch flavor or any of the seasonal flavors like the eggnog, gingerbread, pecan sticky bun, maple waffle, all of those amazing, like cozy, warm fall, winter type flavors, they are available at Keto Chow right now. You can use my link down in the description box below. That is an affiliate code that allows you to support my channel without it actually costing you any money. And I believe as of the time of this video, my code will work more than once. So if you use my code, you can save 10% on your order of Keto Chow and help support my channel in a little way and get a product that's really amazing. So click the link down below. Hey, I've done a terrible job of showing you all of the things, and I've done a mediocre job of telling you all of the things today. So forgive me for that, but we've got to run out the door, and I went ahead and made myself a cup of decaf coffee, just black. You can't really see that very clearly, but there's that. And then I made myself a Keto Chow to go. I'm using this container because it fits in my cup holder, whereas my glass jars do not. This is vanilla cream Keto Chow. This is not the core variety. This is the original, well, not the original, but it's the Keto Chow vanilla cream. Okay, say all the words, Lindsay. I did not add an extra scoop of the whey protein in this one, with the first 2 Keto Chows each having an additional scoop of the protein powder. That puts me at 100 grams. This right here will make me, or slightly over. Okay, let's not get technical. This will put me at a little over 100 math. Once I drink this, it'll put me at almost 130 total grams of protein for the day, which is a huge value add to my nutrition since I'm trying to up my protein always. Okay, we gotta go. All right, end of the night. We made it back from activities. The girls are all in bed, and I'm feeling hungry still. So let's recap for a minute. I had the brand new butterscotch for my breakfast. Words are hard. Okay. So I had this, and then I had eggnog, which was good, and then I had the vanilla cream. So it was definitely a whole lot more of the fall winter type flavors, which is great. My only issue right now is that I'm still feeling hungry. Now my vanilla cream did not have enough time to get thick the way that it typically does, and I did not do my little ice trick. I just thought that I was gonna have time to stick it in the fridge and wait a while before we had to leave, and then I would grab it, but time got away from me. So right now I am feeling some hunger, and to be honest with you, I would love to eat some scrambled eggs. Isn't that silly? I would just love to eat eggs right now. Instead, I think I'm going to take Keto Chow Core, do a half serving, and turn it into a hot chocolate over at the Keurig. Let's manage it. I have about 16 different ways that I like to make keto chow. I don't really like to follow the same process all the time. I like to change it up. I like to see if I can find a better way or a different way that might be more efficient, or, you know, all of the things, because I like rhythm and routine, but I also like to investigate other options. So this is one of the ways that I do like to make hot chocolate whenever I just last minute decide to do it. Let me get you set down here. Okay, so coffee mug, large Buc-ee's. It's a real big mug. Okay, I've got my butter here, and I am going to attempt to get about, that looks like about 2 tablespoons, and because I'm hungry, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get about 3 tablespoons of butter, and this is room temperature butter, which means that it is going to melt really fast in my hot water. Here's my core, let's set that out of the way. And then I like to get 4 ounces of hot water in the cup and kind of get that to melt the butter. Give that a minute. Okay, so here's what I have going on. Some butter, some hot water. I'm gonna try to get that to melt as quickly as possible because I would like to drink this soon. Okay, that's feeling pretty solid. I'm gonna attempt to get about half a serving. And I believe this is a 16-ounce mug, so half a serving is sufficient. Oh, I missed. It's close enough for horseshoes. And we mix it with my frother. And finally, I take that out and set that under here. And I'm gonna go with 6 more ounces of hot water and kind of mix it as it deposits the water. And we have a lovely frothy hot chocolate with a touch of keto chow powder on the top. Delicious. All that's left for me to do now is tidy up my things, wash my little frother, sit down and enjoy this mug of hot chocolate. It's really, really good. And I do know that the vitamins and minerals are probably denatured because I put it in such hot water, but in sticking with the keto chow day, we're going with it. So anyway, I appreciate you being here so very much. Don't forget to go check out the new butterscotch flavor because it is actually limited edition, and you know those are going to sell out quick. I'll catch you later.